Hello, Mr. Fries, Algebra 1B, March 1st, and we're looking at the what if there are no common coefficients part of your packet that was given to you last week. It was the second page, and I believe I ended it there, and we're picking it up here today. This is when you have to manipulate the numbers a little bit in order to do elimination properly. So taking a look at this first one, you'll see that I kept the second equation the same, and in order to do elimination, I changed the top one because I saw that it would be easy to make this a negative 2x. If I needed to make this a negative 2x, I had to multiply each term of this equation by negative 2, so I do that. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. That's why I did it, so that these could cancel out. And then 3 times negative 2 is negative 6y. And then this 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. Now I just go through and I do the problem. These canceled out. That's why I did it. I get negative 13y equals negative 13. I just add these up. Okay? Negative 13 divided by negative 13 is 1. Y equals 1. I go ahead and plug that 1 in one of these problems. The first one looks easiest to me, so I plugged it in where the y is because I found out y equals 1. I plug it in there, and I work the problem out to solve for x, and I get x is 3. So I have 3 and 1. How did I get 3? Well, 3 times 1 is 3. To get x by itself, I have to subtract 3 from both sides of the equation, and I get x equals 3. Just your basic algebra stuff. Skipping on down to number 3. Go ahead and you can pause this as needed as I go through, and then try the even ones on your own, and don't worry about making mistakes. Learn from them, and you're making progress. I changed the top one because I saw that I could just multiply by a 4 really easily. Everything up here, if I multiply by 4, I could cancel out these y's. Okay, so 4 times 3x is 12x. 4 times negative y is negative 4y. And 4 times 14 is 56. I add all these up. I left this one all the same. So 12x plus 5y is 17x. My y's canceled, that's why I did this. 56 plus 12 equals 68. I divide both sides by 17, and I get x equals 4. I plug in 4 to the easiest problem. The top one looks easiest to me. I'm going to plug in that 4 where x was, and I'm going to solve for y. I get 12. I subtract 12 from both sides. 14 minus 12 is 2. I'm still left with a negative y. I don't want to know what negative y equals. I want to know what y equals. If I change the sign on this side, I have to do the same to the other side. I have to change the sign. So y equals negative 2. 4 and negative 2. That's my x and y coordinates, the solution to this set of equations. In other words, if I were to graph these two, put them in slope-intercept form, they would be crossing at the coordinate on the Cartesian plane on the graph for negative 2. For number 5, I'm going to keep the top the same. I'm going to change the bottom because it's very easy for me to just change this to a positive 3y. Changing it to a positive 3y means I have to multiply everything by negative 3 because a negative and a negative is a positive. And you can see over here that these two are going to cancel out. Okay, that's why I did it. So this 2x times negative 3 is negative 6x, and the negative 3 times the negative 5 gives me a positive 15. So I'm left with negative 3x equals 12. I divide both sides by a negative 3, and I get x equals negative 4. I plug in the negative 4 to that, the second problem looked easiest to me. So I have 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. I add 8 to both sides and I get 3. I don't want to know what negative y, I want to know what y is. So if I have to get rid of, or change, if I have to change the side on this side, I have to change the side on that side. So to balance out the equation, y equals -3. So I have -4, -3 as my coordinates where these two lines would cross on a graph. Number 7, I changed the top one. I multiplied it by -2. -2 times 3x is -6x. -2 times 4y gives me -8y. 6 times -2 is -12. Why did I pick -2? So that I could get rid of these y's. And then I'm left with, 7x minus 6x is x. And -12 plus 10 is -2. So I got it. I'm done with that one. My x is -2. I plugged it into this equation. It's the top one because that seemed easiest. And I get -6 plus 4y equals 6. I add 6 to both sides. I get 4y equals 12. Divide both sides by 4, and I get y equals 3. So where they cross is going to be -12, 3. Number 9, I changed both of them. We progressively get more difficult, and I couldn't come up with anything just for changing one of them. So you have to change both of them. So I'm going to make this I'm going to multiply everything by 7 up here. 7 times 5x is 35x. 7 times 9y is a positive 63y. 7 times a -10 is -70. Okay, I want to get rid of the x. So I'm going to multiply this by -5. So 7 times -5x is -35x. I have to do the same thing to everything else. 10y times a -5 gives me -50y. And -1 times a -5 is a 5. I end up with these canceling out. That's why I did it. 13y equals -65. -65 divided by 13 is y equals -5. I plug in my -5 into this top problem, looked the easiest to me. So I plugged in that -5 where I find y. And then I proceed to solve for x. I isolate the variable and I end up getting x equals 7 with those steps there. So 7, -5 are the coordinates, the solution to this system of equations. Number 11, have a lot change in here. First of all, I have to change this bottom one into standard form. I have to get this y over on this side. And by doing that, I just add 6y to both sides. Okay. Then I got to come up with, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to get rid of the x. So I'm going to make them both 6, and one I'm going to make a -6. I made the bottom one a -6. In order to change this to make this 2x a 6, I multiply everything by 3. So 2x or 2x times 3 is 6x. 4y times 3 is 12y. And 6 times 3 is 18. And then I want to make this to -6x, this 3x, so I'm going to multiply everything by -2. So 3x times -2 gives me -6x. That way I can cancel these out. That's why I'm doing this. So I got to multiply 6 times -2 also, so that gives me -12y. And then I have to take 12 times -2, and that gives you -24. Here's the thing. I have 12y minus 12y. This cancels. Both my x and y's cancel out. So you'll notice I have an 18 and a -24. Now these are not the same. They do not equal. So that means it's no solution. In other words, these are parallel lines. If you were to actually take these and put them in slope-intercept form, these two lines would have the same slope. Having the same slope means that there's no solution. They're never going to cross. So these are parallel. These are parallel lines. Okay. Once again, try the even ones on your own, and good luck. Algebra 1B.